You're listening to the AstroMommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the AstroMommy community. I hope you enjoyed today's horoscope and card reading. If you would like to support the AstroMommy newsletter, there are several ways to do so. Subscribe on Substack, share it with a friend, schedule a reading, check out my family's Etsy shop, Metaphysical Flamingo, or just leave a tip. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. Jupiter's ingress into Aries and the dark moon. Turn the page and start the new chapter. Daily horoscope for Monday and Tuesday, December 19th through the 20th, 2022. Good morning, friends. Well, this morning has been a bit of a rabbit hole for me. First, I started out looking at the transits, but then somehow, and I'm not even sure how, I ended up reading Ptolemy's Tetrabiblos. This was not my plan per se, but I couldn't help myself. This often happens when I'm supposed to be writing the daily horoscope. I get sidetracked on an astrological adventure. Then my children wake up and I have to cook breakfast and get everyone situated so that I can sit back down at the computer to hopefully write again, which I did, but then somehow I ended up researching the Argo constellation because I saw it mentioned in the Tetrabiblos and was like, where is that? And had to find out. After which, I found myself also perusing The Astrologer's Guide Anima Astrologiae by W.M.C. Eldon Sergeant, an 1886 publication. Needless to say, I have not been doing what I set out to do this morning, which was to write the horoscopes for today and tomorrow, of which there is much to say, but instead found myself taking a journey into the astrological texts of yore. In light of this part of my personality, I feel the need to apologize and also to request compassion and grace, for it is a part of myself that I both love and sometimes get into trouble with. I have a voracious appetite for knowledge that sometimes makes me late for my commitments. Hopefully you all find this an endearing quality of mine instead of an annoying one, and if you can understand and allow me to post my horoscope late on occasion, you can be assured it is usually because I am enwrapped in something amazing, to me at least. Because this coming weekend is Christmas, I will not be posting a weekend report on Saturday, but rather I will post the weekend report along with Friday's horoscope on Friday. So those of you who are not subscribed will get a weekend report freebie. Yay! Okay, let's get into the astrology. Monday, December 19th, 2022. The moon today is in Scorpio, moving through the Via Combusta, which we talked about in the weekend forecast, and so she's in an area of the zodiac which can be rather distressing to her. The most notable thing to me for the moon tonight, around 7 p.m. Eastern Time, is that she is forming a yod, a finger of God, with Mars and Chiron, who are in a sextile with each other, which perfects at 5:37 p.m. Eastern Time. Then an hour or so later, the moon in Scorpio forms a sextile to Venus around 8 p.m. Eastern Time, at the same time as conjoining the South Node, while Venus is making harmonious aspects to the nodes as well. And the moon is applying to an opposition to Uranus and Taurus at 15 degrees, which will perfect after 1 a.m. Eastern Time, technically Tuesday. Okay, so what does all this mumbo-jumbo astrolingo mean? Basically, today may feel a bit edgy and faded. There could be things that come up involving our feelings, our wounded egos, or our desires in life that make a significant impact on our thoughts for the day. These feelings that come up could stir the pot, and by tonight we could be feeling like getting away and breaking free from a situation or circumstance that we find ourselves in. Humor me for a moment while I lay out this example. This morning, I had a bit of an astrological insight into natal Pluto placements, highlighting an area in our lives where we feel immense pressure. In my case, Pluto is in my 5th house of children and creativity, and I oftentimes have been under immense pressure to create things, including children, whether I wanted to or not. When one becomes pregnant, for instance, it is oftentimes not at the time when one would choose, but it seems destined, fated, and the divine timing ends up being clear in retrospect. Anyway, so far I have only tested this theory by looking at my own chart and the chart of Madonna, in which, as you can see below, she has Pluto in Virgo in her 1st house. This is using the whole signs house system. I find this really interesting since she seems to recreate her self-image every few years, and I wonder if she feels immense pressure to do so, to stay on the cutting edge. Her moon, also in Virgo and in her 1st house as well, gives testimony to this idea too, very simply in that the moon is constantly changing her face and Madonna is constantly changing her looks and music. There is so much to unpack in Madonna's chart, but that is for another time. So the reason I feel that this is an example of today's transits is that we may have ideas and thoughts come up today that we feel like explain a lot of things. Epiphanies and aha moments may be plentiful today. Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for Monday? Two of Cups. On this simple card from the Rolla Nordic Tarot, we see two cups arranged in much the same way as a playing card would be arranged. I believe the suit of hearts corresponds to the suit of cups in the tarot, but I can't remember where I've read this and do not have a reference presently. The Two of Cups is about the exchange of love between two people in a romantic or familial relationship and or feeling in tune with a partner in a business relationship. In the Rolla Nordic Tarot guidebook, she says that twos are about work and that the Two of Cups means something the heart is set on. So I feel this is a good omen for a good day. We may feel lots of loving and affectionate feelings towards those we are in relationships with today, be they romantic, familial, or business-oriented, and we may feel like putting in the work needed to maintain those relationships. Tuesday, December 20th, 2022. The moon today will finally leave the Via Combusta at 12:50 a.m. Eastern Time in the morning on Tuesday, or late Monday night if you are on the West Coast. So by the time we wake up, the moon will be out of this stressful area of the zodiac. The two biggest things for Tuesday that I'd like to talk about are Jupiter's ingress into Aries and the moon entering her balsamic phase while still in her fall in Scorpio. Jupiter ingresses into Aries at 9:32 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, and this is a big deal. 0 degrees Aries is the start of the zodiac and seasonally marks the start of spring. So metaphorically, Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, life, sperm, wealth, and abundance, entering this potent zodiacal degree, feels like a cause for celebration. And with the winter solstice and the sun's ingress into Capricorn happening on December 21st, 2022, just one day after Jupiter's ingress into Aries, feels like an astrological holiday. This really feels like the real Christmas or New Year. Jupiter in Aries could inspire an air of self-reliance, independence, and cheer. It feels to me a lot like someone going where the wind blows, not planning or thinking things out meticulously, but jumping on an airplane and going to Paris just because they wanted to. It feels free-spirited, spontaneous, and adventurous. Wherever this transit is happening in your chart, you may notice something take place that inseminates an adventurous spirit into things. The wind may blow you somewhere new regarding the topics of that house or the topics that Jupiter governs in your natal chart. Jupiter takes about 12 years to make his way around the entire zodiac. The last time that Jupiter ingressed into Aries was in June of 2010 and again in January of 2011. Think back to what new adventures started in that 6-month period and make a note to compare to the new experiences that may come this time around. For myself, as I have mentioned several times, we moved out of my mother-in-law's house in January of 2010. I delivered my niece in a home birth in September of 2010, an experience that was amazing and one of a lifetime, and then I became pregnant with my third child in November of 2010. The big new adventure for me was moving to a new area and changing colleges. I started going to an online college in 2008 and then changed colleges in 2010 because of the move and ended up attending a local community college, changing my major and going to both online and in-person classes, and delivering a baby and having another baby of my own. Jupiter in Aries is in my 11th house of hopes and wishes, and I definitely had the wish of delivering a baby granted. I am curious about what gifts Jupiter has in store this time around. I would love to know how you feel this transit is affecting your life, so please leave a comment or write me an email. Moving on to the moon in her balsamic phase. The balsamic phase of the lunar cycle is technically the last 45 degrees before the new moon, and usually starts in the sign that the previous new moon occurred. Again, this balsamic moon phase, also known as the dark moon, is happening in Scorpio, where we have to do some internal shadow work, letting go of old ideas, patterns, and perspectives, and making room for new ones. It seems that we have had to do a lot of this purging and cleansing lately, so something amazing must be on the horizon to need this much free internal space. It's like we are all getting ready to download an incredible new app that needs an immense amount of free space in order to work properly, right? Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for Tuesday? The Lovers. On this card, we see 3 people and an angel above them. The man stands in the center with a woman on each side of him. The angel, or Cupid, flies above his head and aims his arrow toward the couple. It's as if the man has to make a choice between the 2 women, and Cupid, the angel, is about to make it for him. The Lover's card could mean love, relationships, harmonious interactions, seeing eye to eye with someone, and or having to make a choice. As the card for Wednesday, on the day that Jupiter ingresses into the very independent and spontaneous sign of Aries, I would say that this card could indicate feeling love and affection towards a relationship or having to make a choice between 2 things you love. With the Aries energy at work here, it is usually appropriate to go with the one that elicits a hell yes and forego the one that feels wishy-washy. Easier said than done, as sometimes the hastiness of the Aries energy can get one into trouble, and they can look back and realize that they set the whole damn thing on fire without intending to. So be cautious, but follow your heart. I would love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment. I hope this is helpful. Until Wednesday, AstroMommy.
Thank you for reading the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from the Rolla Nordic Tarot, available on Amazon. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a small commission, but there are no additional costs to you. I don't share or recommend things that I don't 100% believe in and use myself. Thanks for listening.
The
Taurus, Gemini, Scorpio, Sagittarius.